got some new followers today too, or are those old?
From a couple days ago. I think Friday. From a couple days ago. I think Friday.
Did you enter the Victory chat room?
Yeah. Like, this is all it is? That's disappointing.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's pretty stupid. Leave notes for other victors.
Because I even, like, went to my close-up camera view or whatever, my camera view, so I didn't show it. And then I'm like, oh, it's a chat room. God damn it.
This is stupid.
All right, lunch in St. Augustine, noon tomorrow.
Went to Outback for dinner and it was delicious.
If you like me.
I'm gonna see salad.
Their
Nothing
salads are
doesn't
pretty
taste
good.
I mean, there's anchovies in it.
Yeah, I know. Can't have it. But I always like their an onion. Their bread is the bomb.
We had the sampler, so we had the Aussie cheese fries, blue onion,
Oh,
there,
man, those are good too.
fried mac and cheese.
I haven't tried that.
They're
That was
amazing.
after we stopped
It was
eating there.
My favorite part about that appetizer. Not even like the other stuff that are usually good. It was all about the fried mac and cheese bites. They were great. I was surprised at how good they were.
What is the title of your game? Fiends have been...
Fiends have been vanquished. Time for more dungeons and maybe a dragon or two.
Are we ready to start?
David here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Can't tell.
Well, last week, Fiends were vanquished, in fact, after a strange visitor paid a visit to the Swale home. Eben used his ranger training to track whatever it was to a lair of fiends hidden below a house outside of town. But you delve through, finding your way through puzzles and traps. There was a number of demons within there guarding it. You found a prisoner still alive and released him from his cell. Also,
We have to go back and get him.
then tracked your way down to the end. Found also a chamber that was some sort of a scrying chamber, apparently, that was used to apparently
Scry.
listen in and watch over the goings on of the political lead of the city. And you have just defeated this large toad-like demon. What appears to be the end of this lair. We sort of rushed a little bit at the end. I'm trying to remember. There was a number of things in these side chambers, antechambers of the room that you found. Did we need to go over any of that again? I can't remember where we.
No, we talked about all the stuff, and I have the forgery stuff. Eldak took the Fey needle
Poison.
and smashed up the rest of the alchemy kit.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the rocks on the side. The other
Welcome
side.
to the rocks.
Yes, there was one area that appeared to be some sort of station for the brewing and making of poisons. and you found several doses of the Fey needle poison there. Another area that seemed to have been experimented on, some of these strange rocks that you are actually a little bit familiar with, and another one that had a number of papers and appeared to be a workstation for a forger.
Thought has run away. Guys, this is some pretty crazy stuff in this forgery stuff. We need to make sure we get Mihail back to somewhere safe. And I'm not so sure the castle is the safest place to take him.
Yeah. I have my worries of him being just anywhere else, though.
Is there
So-
somewhere safer we could stash him?
Who are we stashing? The dude?
Yeah, the dude. I'm not so sure taking him back to the castle is the best place. Somebody tried to kill him. If they find out he's alive and knows stuff, our only witness is gone. Don't
They
roll
didn't-
your eyes at me, Zigverse.
I wasn't rolling my eyes at you. I went and got a new Mountain Dew because I thought I was out of Mountain Dew. And then I just grabbed the one that I thought was empty, and it's completely full. So now I have 2 open Mountain Dews.
Now you're ready to go.
So,
Well, you're ready to go for tonight.
Yeah, living the dream.
Quality, A+.
Can't tell you how often
Plus
been there,
one.
done that.
Britt is sort of finishing bandaging some of her wounds from the fight.
Yeah, how bad are some people looking?
She's wounded,
should
but
be-
she's not near death or anything. Zig, I believe,
She
is
should be
still
about-
scraped up.
I'm just trying to figure out if I should pop some heals on people.
I'm chill.
I'm down 21
First
points. So, yeah. Probably can't tell under the armor. All right.
And how many is Brit down?
She is down. She's probably like 2/3.
I healed her for,
2/3 health.
I healed her for like 20.
She's
you can't
at
hear me. I
2/3
healed her
health?
for
Or
Yeah.
down
No, it has
2/3
like 2/3. She was wounded. Melusine healed her, and she's just binding some of the smaller wounds. Her more grievous wounds are healed.
So I'm gonna
Nobody
hit her,
is
and then I'll
perfect.
hit Zig with one as well. So that's for Brit. One for Zig.
This
Better
one
than
will-
mine usually are.
No, that was good. That was good. That was-
Ah, thank you.
So yeah, I walk up to them, and then I, you know, try to pick them
Clearly
back
the
up a
form
bit.
of
With you.
a high five.
Classic.
how I
I
would
didn't
heal people.
move with a high five. You good over there? Good.
Good job.
Yeah.
No, if I had a more funny character, I would just boop people in the nose. I'd be like, boop, and then suddenly you'd be like, man, I feel great. That was a great boop.
I could
Boop me for
totally
most of my
see
life.
that for a cleric like Jester.
That'd be amazing. I love her.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
So-
totally.
You'd appreciate her. I think you would. That's okay.
I say we at least go back to the room. We could figure things out some more. I'd rather
So-
check on him.
I still
Yeah, we
don't
def-
think we've gotten the actual creature that is causing all this.
No, we don't.
Oh, I
No,
agree with that.
I'm sure we
entirely.
haven't.
This place still gives me
All
the
this-
creeps. I mean, and she's sort of staring at what is now just a pile of sort of slightly hissing goo that the large toad beast is sort of dissolved into. Just lumps where there were
Yeah,
its
and we
larger
also
spines and
couldn't,
bones
like,
collapsing.
We couldn't get rid of this either, right?
That's embedded.
Right,
in
that was
It's like
embedded.
embedded,
on
so-
the ground. Yeah.
Let's grab the
need-
guy and get out of here, and then we
Yeah.
can talk.
We'll also need to tell them because it might take them a while to get clerics here to try to you know,
Sure.
clean this up.
We definitely need to let them know about it, but I'm not
we
sure
should
we should
probably
tell
just
them
put a
everything
castle in.
either.
You know,
No. Let's get
they
out
have
of
to
here
ship
first
those
before we
clerics
talk
in or
about
something
it.
like that, from what I hear. It's a weird place, Brefirie.
All right, so
911 is a
I'm
joke.
walking out into the hallway. I'm walking back out into the hallway and checking before I walk out that way. Oh, wait, Eben, are there any more fiends in here before I just go wandering out and get, stabbed again?
Yeah, that probably.
See, now the question is, do I actually do it, or do I say I do it, or just wait a minute and go, looks clear?
I love you too.
Fine, I'll do it,
Yeah, you
just to make sure.
you don't sense anything else. So the presence and the decomposing sort of aura and stuff from these bodies are still sort of almost interfering with it, but it's almost overwhelming or so close. But you don't sense anything else.
Seems clear.
Great. Let's go back up. I'm gonna head out into the hall and watching as
He's
I go up to the
immediately
rope.
attacked.
I know, right?
I did say it seems clear. I didn't say it was clear.
Watching carefully as I go and head towards the rope.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm moving along with.
All right. You guys enter back out into the hallway, up to the stairs. The double doors on this side are sealed without any sort of way out. So,
We had our rope.
but you have a
still
rope
dangling.
lashed
I
around.
have a rope tied up.
And
yeah, so
climb-
we can still climb back.
Climb back
I'm
up
gonna
through
shimmy
the.
up the rope.
Okay. You guys climb, make your way back up through the sort of vents in the ceiling and into the side chamber, back down, and open the door to the small room, the small storeroom. With the light spilling in, you just catch sight of Mihal, the thin, emaciated figure of the old man, sort of, just catch a knee disappearing behind like a barrel.
Fiends,
Hey.
quick, run!
Hey, knock it off. It's okay. It's just us. I think we've gotten everything.
Don't listen
We're
to
gonna
her.
get
She's
out
a
of here.
demon.
We're gonna get out of here. Do you want to come with us? In fact, you don't have.
He
a
looks
choice.
around a
You're
little.
coming
Yeah,
with
he
us.
darts
You
sort of
don't
for the
have
door,
a
and he darts and goes through the door to the north.
Wait.
Like he's running
Wait.
away?
Let the
Or
crazy
he's-
person in front go in front of you, please.
He's around the
Zig
corner
after
and out of your
you.
sight.
All right, I'm following him.
Okay. Well,
He's
Zig
like
said,
trying to run, and I'm just like running next to him. I'm like, look, guy, I'm faster than you. Where are you going? Give me a second.
you're about halfway down the narrow corridor when you hear a ding ding, a ding a ding, a ding a ding.
God damn it.
Shit. Can I reach him? Can I grab him?
Who? Well, who?
Mihail?
No,
Miguel?
he's out of the hallway. He ran out of the hallway ahead of you. You're now running in. You come in and he's just moving away from the bell and toward the stairway.
Oh my god.
The large double doors, kind of swing open.
Well, that
Told
worked
you we
well.
should have rang the bell.
Zig, he's running up. Eben, can you catch him? Freaking old
Yeah.
man.
Well, you guys run up this narrow staircase, sort of up and come up, and he's sort of at the door in the cabin upstairs, hands on his knees.
Dude, chill
was
out
gonna
and
say,
stay with the group unless you
he's
want to
skin and
die to
bone.
some random crap.
Skin and bones.
He
it
said
hasn't been.
he said there were fiends coming, and to ring the bell when I ran out.
He's an asshole. Just take a deep breath.
Yeah, I told you she
He
was a fiend.
loves having fun.
That
Fun?
works, but-
You call this fun?
He
She's a
does.
demon. Be careful. She's a demon.
Gotta roll that deception
See,
roll.
that I would partially agree with.
She'll tear your soul out.
Spoken like a
You
true
would know
married
they're
man.
married.
Exactly. There we go. There we go.
It's true. It's true.
He already lost his soul.
He hasn't lost it quite yet, but I
So
will take it soon enough.
you're outside. There's a thin layer of snow sort of on the
So, yeah, I told
ground
you she was a demon that would take your soul.
outside, and it's chilly as you get up into the air inside the cabin. The front door still standing open from when you came in.
And how far
Alright.
off was this place to like the main gate
It was like a couple
or the
miles
closest gate?
down
And
the.
a half or so, I think.
Yeah.
Estimated.
Yeah, it was like a couple
It was
miles.
relatively close.
Yeah, it was fairly close.
Okay.
It's gonna take us a while to get there with Mr. Slowpoke not feeling well.
It'll take a little bit, but
Tie a
Unless
rope
he
around
was
his
like-
waist and I'll drag him.
You're so helpful.
If you're worried about it taking a while.
No.
No, it's not
Curious,
too
it's
bad.
more of a
You
DM question.
Yeah, no, you begin making your way back toward the city. Then when you
also,
get
what time? About what time is it? Because we've been there for like 12 hours or something like that.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
we
daytime
Left,
now.
And then
Yeah, it's like the middle of the day now because you
Okay.
left in the middle of the night and we're down there a long time. The snow is stopped, but there's a thin layer of snow on the ground. When you wind down the path, the braziers and the torches along the road are still lit, and you begin making your way north back toward the city. It doesn't take too long. You make your way back into the gates of the city. When you arrive in town, there is sort of festivities underway a little bit, as is now the first frost, and the city's sort of making preparations for like a celebration, probably in the next few days, you'd assume.
So where do we take him?
I can make my way to my home.
No, I don't think so. Think about it. You've been gone for a month. If whoever put you there finds out you're still alive, you're in danger.
Well, I have nowhere else to go. I mean, we can take him to. You're welcome to stay at our house.
At least for a little while till we find out if it's safe. Thank you, Britt.
All right.
sure about that, Britt?
Watch out for toads.
There's plenty of room.
Well, I'm just saying it also could bring potential dangers to you and your home.
You,
Well, it is inside the walls there.
a partial
I'm
target.
pretty sure he
Did a
was
lot for your
taken
mom, didn't it?
within the walls. Jesus.
What I think I missed something.
I said that did a lot for your mom, didn't it?
Did you really say that?
Well, she's trying to say it being inside the walls is safe somehow.
Nowhere is safe, but it is
Um.
safer than perhaps your house.
What was the main guard's name? Castian or something like that? The gentleman we
Rit
spoke to when they
Edgecombe?
brought up
Yeah, he's the Castellan
Rit Ed-
of
Okay, that's
Campanile
Castellan.
Keep.
We should maybe at least have him come, let him know about him being alive, and tell him
No,
Some
I
of
don't
what
think
we
we do that
found?
even. I think we go find that barmaid that took this guy's place.
I think you're probably right, Zig. I'm not sure I trust the Castellan yet. I
We're gonna
mean,
have
he
clerics.
probably... He's probably okay. But who knows? Let's get back to the house and then we can come up with a good plan.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we
We'll
have
wanna
people
look through those
dying.
books more often.
He wouldn't go get clerics, so dude's obviously evil. Evil.
And
Sorry,
so we'll
Denise
go back
Verb.
to the shale house then. for
Okay.
now.
So you make your way up through. It's not too far. There's a side street that cuts through and comes into the south gate into the Seven Ring Gardens. When you enter those gates, the guards greet you, and they at first they make a perception check if you'd like to.
Who?
If you'd like to, anyone who'd like to. There,
16.
trying to
17.
perceive.
Watch it suck.
You you take note of the fact there
Ooh.
are more hanging on
It
that
was
20.
almost a 20 there on my screen.
You take note that there are more guards, and they seem much more. Now there are more guards posted at the gates. They are kept closed, but you
Oh
don't
my
have
God,
any trouble getting
head.
in.
Oh my God, Zig, your head. We've left it alone for over a day.
Not funny.
No, I mean, I literally just remembered this, that we've left it alone for...
I will burn this town to the ground if my head's missing.
But you make your way through the gates into the gardens without a problem. But there, you take note that security has been heightened.
I go running near the wagon.
Up.
Okay. As you get close, Zig sort of starts, sort of speed walking, and then just sort of breaks into a full tromping run for as you say that about the head, and dashes off ahead. Sorry.
I get it, Hans. It was a good one.
Yeah, I know. It was inadvertent. You make it there. There's still appears to be something large. There's a thin layer of snow over something large on the back of the wagon that's sort of parked in the front.
Not good
Courtyard.
enough. I'm taking the tarp off. I'm not sure it's safe.
Ugh. There's a kind of a rank smell of decomposing flesh, but it is still there. It's starting to get in. I mean, it's cold out, but it's still, this thing has been now carted up and down the road and getting to decompose decently. But it is there.
Where's the nearest taxidermist?
You're not sure. Is that what you're going to do first? It is the middle of the day, so.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let my dragon head go to waste.
All right, as you guys get to the courtyard, probably not running alongside him. I don't think anyone else was quite as panicked. Zig
I'm
is
sort of sticking
getting
to
the horses, hitched up to it, and the wagon's beginning to get ready to move out.
Going somewhere?
Yeah.
I mean, I assume you can't really carry it, so we're taking
I
the
need a
wagon.
taxidermist for my head.
Britt, are there any taxidermists around here for him?
I don't know. It's not something I pay attention to. There's probably something in West Corner, along the Pavilion Street. Go out there and take a left at the next large road and see what you can find over there. She goes inside, sort of saying that as she's, walking away.
Hey-ya!
All right, so Zig, you are going to take the wagon. We'll go with that. You take the wagon, tromping down the streets, out the gate, and spend some time in West Corner looking for a taxidermist or something of that sort. Why don't you make an investigation check?
Oh, God.
Hey, you're usually pretty good at these, finding random shit in the city.
No!
Thanks for the
See?
curse there,
Pretty good.
David.
Very good. No, you're gonna find a real good spot. It'll take you 4 hours, but
Yeah, I
you'll
was gonna
find
say a couple hours of investigating and asking people. It's not exactly something that's like a major trade. It's very specialized. You do locate in the next district over a place that some people point you toward. It's called Choice Flank. It's actually primarily a butcher shop, but it doubles as a taxidermist as well as like a service they provide to stuff and mount hunting trophies. You talk to the owner who comes around from behind the counter to talk to you, and he's got like a large butcher's apron with some meat stains and stuff on it. He's kind of a portly fellow, and a dragon head, like an actual dragon head.
No, that's just what I call the head of my pants. Yes, an actual dragon head.
So he kind of he follows you outside, and you show him the the head, and he sort of he lifts up the tarp. He lifts up. Ugh. He kind of pokes at it in a spot that's like kind of soft. He's like, "I'm not sure there's anything I could do with this at this point. This is a bit ripe. Plus, I can't say that I've ever mounted a dragon head. I have an idea though." And he
Doesn't involve clerics, are there? Because there's none around here.
there's many clerics here.
You better tell that to the guy who runs the place.
I'm like, don't trust this guy. He says there's clerics. We know there's not. This is a lie. He's a liar. Don't give him the head. He can't be trusted.
I love how you just think there's like clerics waiting on standby, like 911, like an ambulance siren.
Look, I said it before.
Castle.
If I'm super rich with a castle, there is a cleric. Guys, I'm dying. Boom, you're good. We got you. I'm like, good. That's what I pay you for. Thank you, cleric. Go do whatever else now.
Really?
So he kind of goes inside the shop and gets on it with a piece of charcoal and paper, and he gives you some directions, and he says, "Why don't you try this man? His name is Ogmar. Maybe he can help you." And he kind of gives you some directions. It's kind of even over to another district to the east, and you trudge your way there. There's more snow flurries coming down again by this afternoon, and it's cold, but you make your way there, find the shop that he sent you to, and it's actually like a small natural. It's labeled as Cimrec Natural History, and when you go inside, it's kind of larger inside than it would have appeared, and there are lots of like skeletal remains that are mounted and sort of rearticulated. Like you might see, like obviously they're not dinosaurs, but like you might see in a natural history museum now. There are all kinds of animals of the area, and a small gnome peeks out with some sort of monocle on one eye, like from behind, where he's got some tools in his hands, and some large bear that's like, standing up. Huh? Welcome. What can I do for you, knight?
I got a dragon I need saved.
All right then. An actual dragon? How big? What kind? And he's already sort of, like following after you.
I like this
with
guy.
a bunch of questions.
He's just cool with it. He's like, yeah, let's go.
The green dragon.
Green, okay.
It's a little bit gamey at the moment.
So you show him the thing, and he asks you a number of questions, sort of about the dragon. How old do you think it was? But he can kind of tell, after he's gotten a look at it. Well, this is the one that was brought into town the other day. I heard about this. Yeah. So, all the flesh will have to come off, but we can save all the bones and we can remount them and articulate in a complete skull, complete with teeth and everything. It'll look very proper, and I'd be willing to make you a fair offer for this.
You're trying to buy it off of me? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I assume that's why you brought it here.
No, I want it for myself.
Oh, a collector.
Yes,
Well then,
of heads.
it will take several days, but I could clean and properly articulate the skull for you.
Just the skull? Can't save any of the scales or...
Oh, we could see what scales are savable. I don't know that they would look good against it without the whole head intact. But if you have use for the scales, I could save the scales.
Save the scales. Save everything that you can that won't rot.
All right. This will probably take me several days. Say 200 gold pieces.
Sure. Can I give you this? And I show him one of those things that I have. I don't
The
remember.
gem.
He has the tourmaline eggs, the bird's eggs.
Oh, from the last.
Yeah, they're worth
Yeah.
like 200 or something.
His
Yeah,
are
yeah,
worth
yeah.
200.
Oh yeah, the aquamarines. No,
Aquamarines.
Yeah.
I had the
no,
tourmalines.
no. The
He had-
tourmalines were the 100 gold piece ones.
Those were mine, and he had the egg. That were the
The
200s.
I got like 4
Five.
eggs.
500 each.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll give him one of those if that'll do.
Wow, this excellent. I'll have it ready for you as soon as possible. So you strike a bargain with him, and he sets to work on it.
I mope back to the frickin' place.
Yeah, you have 4, or 3 now of the aquamarine.
Yeah.
gems.
Yeah.
Give him a sweet 300 tip.
Care that just rocks.
All right, so
Gave
you
half of yours away to what's her face, so I'm just giving somebody who actually is doing something for me.
okay? So you return. Does anything else? Do you guys want to do anything else while you're at the house? The rest of you guys? Well,
I'm gonna say a little after he left, I went to a tailor
okay.
to try to get some new other clothes for this guy since he's gonna be staying at the shelf house.
I'm gonna make food. I'm going to go rummage through her kitchen and find food because
okay.
he hasn't eaten in forever.
And also, when I'm at the tailor, I'm gonna see if they could take the pelt I have and make it into an actual something I can wear
Okay.
since it's getting colder,
All right.
as you said.
Yep, you locate a
Versus
tailor
what's
shop.
facing it.
I will make an investigation check.
Alrighty.
It won't be too hard to find a tailor shop, but
For all the one, it will be. I'll get 90.
yeah. So you find several pretty close by.
I roll a 1, and Zig and I are actually just circling around each other, and we don't notice until he finds the museum and I find a tailor. We're just super clueless about it. It's like, oh.
Yeah, you don't find a tailor. You find a taxidermist shop like right outside the gate, though. No. Yeah, you find a couple, and you find one that does, making clothes to order. So you decide to, go in there and inquire. So, are you looking for something in particular, or just to have this is the warg hide made into
Into an actual,
like a cloak?
like a mantle.
Mantle. Okay.
Sort of.
Okay.
thing.
Ah,
And then, like I said, I'm gonna get some new clothes, just sort of generic clothes that I think will fit this gentleman who's gonna stay at the sale house for at least a little while.
okay. Okay. I mean, it runs just I mean, new clothes are probably on the order of like just a simple clothes, I assume, nothing fancy.
Yeah,
Just
nothing, just something warm for the weather, and so
okay.
he has something to change into.
So so a jacket and something heavy. Let's say 2 gold for the for like a full outfit, including some shoes with decent soles.
Yeah, I would say boots or whatever.
And
Necessary for the-
to make the cloak into a mantle would probably be. I mean, do you have any special requests? You want it to just be mostly the hide, and then just covered underneath with sort of a lining on the other side, and a clasp of some kind.
Yeah, something that will just keep it steady on my back. I basically will put it over like my cloak for the
Okay.
most part in this weather. It doesn't have to be anything,
Okay.
you know, fancy.
It'll run you like 5 gold, but that's also going to include like a metal clasp that'll be heavy and so it won't just tear and rip because you want an adventuring strength, so you instruct them to make it out of
Yeah,
heavy metal, all throughout the collar, and then like a clasp, so it includes that metal work.
sounds good. Sounds good enough.
You go to the kitchen, Melusine, and rummage around. The cupboards are fairly bare and empty. I mean, not well. I mean, there's stuff there, but it's kind of like again. But you already knew this is a house that isn't really a lot of time isn't necessarily stayed in, as Brit travels a lot. But there is staples, and you start getting out some more dried goods to begin to there's stock and dried goods and things to cook, but it's not just like no microwave dinners, so.
Yeah.
So you
That's all right.
you
I'll
kind of start to
make
get it,
some
and
really
after a
simple-
while he's like let me help you, and then no, get that over there, no, just let me do it, and he sort of kind of starts taking over for you, and
All right. Have fun cooking.
yeah,
Eat, but don't like gorge yourself. And then I'm gonna go out and find Eldak and Britt.
okay. Yeah, you stay for a few minutes and see that he's quite at home. He seems now to have something to do. He seems to be settling in, and I mean he was part of the kitchen and wait staff there, so he knows his way around, and he begins cooking up food in the kitchen. Yeah. Britt also says I have some errands to do as well, so I'm gonna step out as well after the others have left.
Okay.
Millicent doesn't find me. I'm walking the grounds of the estate alone.
I sigh. So I've searched the house. I don't find him. Fine. I'm gonna go out to the
The bathhouse?
The bathhouse.
Okay.
And take myself a nice steam bath while we wait. Then
Okay.
I'm going to enjoy it for what it's worth.
Alrighty.
I do holler into the kitchen. I'm outside. Don't leave the house.
It's actually right outside the back of the kitchen, so that's not. It's not too far away. There's like a small backyard plaza, sort of courtyard in the back, and it's hedged in, and then there's sort of a bathhouse set adjacent to that. So
Yes, but I also assume if I'm taking a really hot steam bath in their steam
Yeah.
area, I won't be able to see through any whatever.
No,
to
not necessarily,
Watch for
but-
him.
yeah, but okay. You all take care of your various errands and reconvene back. Evening is kind of getting closer. You guys all sort of enter back in the house sort of one by one, and there is food being prepared, the smells of food being prepared, and you sort of wander and meet up in the kitchen area. And Mihal is looking tired, but has set out a large spread of food he's cooked up over the afternoon, enough for everyone. And he's sort of just finishing and setting, bread that's cooling out there, and there is some soup that's been cooked and things like that. And he's sitting down in a chair and like kind of nodding off.
Hey, get some of your food in you before you fall asleep.
Oh yeah, he's eating some food as well.
Okay.
He's got like an
good.
empty bowl there in front of him, but it's just enough for everyone to have some and sort of there. I'm gonna grab a drink. Be right back.
I picture this guy just falling asleep in mid. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, mid-eat.
Like have head next to his bowl. Yeah. Or like kicked back in the chair, head thumping against the wall. Guys, we got to figure out what to do with him, and with this is kind of a lot of stuff that could implicate people, but
that
we don't really know. Yeah.
Well,
I
the
mean,
problem also is if we believe, let's say, it's one of the 7 houses, right?
Right.
Let's say it's one of them.
Oh, we lost.
The problem we
Nick.
then have is if we do tell, then one of the set, let's, like I say, it could be one, it could be more, but we let them know that they've sort of been caught, not, we don't know which one who, is, doing or potentially connected to this, and thus we give them a heads up that we know, or none of them are connected, and by us not giving them a forewarning that they've been being watched for who knows how long, it puts them in further danger.
It definitely puts them in further danger. Did the notes that we had specifically say who the person was trying to influence over trade?
Wasn't it just multiple things they were
Yeah,
doing?
but
I thought they were just forging multiple things. I don't know if it was anything
Right.
specific.
They were forging multiple things, particularly about the delve. But one of the pieces of information we got said that someone was trying to influence. The one that Britt got said that people were trying to influence to lock her out of trade and basically make it only obelisk ventures.
Yeah, there was a
Did
lot
it
of
say what
conversation.
houses?
Yes. Well,
I mean, I've got all the papers.
there wasn't
here. I can
anything that
pull 'em
leads
out
me
and
to
look.
know exactly who, but it definitely noted there was discussions about favoring trade deals and exclusive trade rights of routes, licensing of routes to a number of the large trade houses and obelisk ventures. And it was specifically mentioned in one passage that, that some parties wished that Swale Outfitters was, not allowed to trade official goods. I mean, they can't stop me from doing what I will, but there's a series of guilds and contracts, and if you aren't part of, these business dealings, then you lose their more lucrative routes. No, there's nothing specific. I can't tell. I don't trust any of them now. She seems really kind of pissed about it, actually. Especially now you got her talking about it again.
Her at all.
Yeah, she sort of walked in the room and sort of said that and joins you as you guys are talking around the table. Returns from her errand, and she lays on the table and grabs a bowl. She lays on the table like a suit of chainmail.
Yes, you go, girl. You need that. Yeah. Well, I suppose one of the first things we probably should find out is who owned the shack. I mean, if all the stuff underneath it was probably whoever owned this house above has something to do with it. At the moment, I suspect that.
And I'm gonna head. I'm gonna. My guy's wandering off, and he's heading towards where the party was, and he's going to those quarters of the where the kitchen was and everything else.
Okay.
Looking for the girl.
Yep.
I mean, Obelisk Ventures.
Are you going by yourself?
A suspect. Of course he is.
I don't know if anybody's following me or not.
Okay. We'll get to that. You can continue your conversation. And we'll...
I mean, Obelisk Ventures is definitely suspect with everything, and particularly trying to edge you out this. But the Nadarks don't seem to be so innocent either. They could easily be manipulating everything going on. There's not enough to go on.
I don't know that the elves are... Well, maybe they are that interested in the affairs here, but... I mean, I'm not sure if that's unusual or not.
Well,
Sias
whoever
Thornton
this
and
person was,
Obelisk Ventures are... Well, they control the majority of everything, so... I'm not sure that means that they're responsible or just... Yeah. It's hard to deny. They could be.
well, whoever this person was, they were asking the dead half-orc about ancient ruins. And I look at Eben and Eldak without saying anything specifically. But some of those rocks looked
good,
awful
good.
familiar.
Don't get locked into realizing that you're not sure which one's which. Good strategy. Sorry, I was like, I look at Eben and Eldak and I don't say anything specific or something like that.
I glance at them now.
He looked at us and
Crazy.
he's like, I don't know which one's which.
I was kidding.
No,
Sorry.
One of them is one of them.
One of them. She
These
can't
two half elves
track.
look very different, but I just don't know. I can
I
just
don't know
can't
who
tell.
they are.
I cast Healing Word.
me.
I cast Healing Word on Ebendak.
It's a
All right.
thing
We
now.
just always,
Sorry.
we just always get half healing. Because it's spread to people who don't need it.
Sorry, I derailed you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hey, why is this person looking for ancient battlefields and ancient artifacts? That worries me almost as much as all the rest of this stuff.
It's- the thing that worries me is that it's just gonna come full circle, and we've got other problems that we can't even deal with yet.
Where the hell did Zig go?
All right, so Zig,
Oblivious, I did not see him leave.
you make your way to.
I probably went to a bar.
It's possible.
Cool.
No alcohol in the house.
You make your way back to the Campanile Keep. The Pavilion Market is. Excuse me. There's still some lights coming from there, and had some business going on, and the lights filter across the street. But the gates are closed, and there are guards posted. Halt!
Hey guards, let me in.
The keep is closed for the evening.
Nah, open the doors.
Excuse me? I'm sorry.
Listen, I told you guys to go away yesterday. I'm telling you to open the doors today.
These aren't necessarily those same
I don't
guards.
care.
They're just
Doesn't matter
keep
to me.
I was
guards.
gonna say to
Okay.
him they are.
Well, what is your
Not
business?
observant with guards as I am with.
I've got to talk to the guy with no clerics.
Is this some sort of riddle?
Dylan.
God damn you guys.
Why didn't you say so?
I know precisely who you're talking about.
When you
Is this
pass
some
by
sort of
them,
riddle?
The head of the house, whatever, the
The cream of the crop.
the guy with the
Castilian.
thing.
Castilian.
Go get your boss and tell him to come here, or let me in to see him. One of the way or the other.
What's your name?
I'm the guy who was here yesterday. That's 6'8" in plate mail. Just
One
tell him
of
that.
one of the other guards that wasn't speaking to you was on the other side of the says something through the closed gate, and then well, I wasn't on duty yesterday, and
Yeah. Right. Open the door. Let me in.
this is not a public establishment. We don't just
Yeah.
let
I'm
armed
not a public person. Let me in.
You go back and forth with them for a few minutes till they bring a sergeant or whatever down there, his boss. Yes, and then another gentleman appears. Let's see here. Oh man, my own notes.
I didn't kill a dragon for you rednecks in order for you to keep me outside. Let me in.
Another, after a few minutes of back and forth with this guy, one of the guards you recognize from last night that was seemed to be one of the higher ups that reported to the Castellan. He was one of the guards who was outside the door actually. Resman, returns. Yes.
That guy. I told him to go away, and he listened. You would do good to listen too. Let me in.
Yes. So what do you need here? We've got full patrols, and everything is closed and locked up after the events of last night, as you're well aware. Do you have information?
The events of last night. So you will let me in.
He sort of
I'm
says,
not telling you anything.
You're not helping your.
he sort of there's like
I'm
a
helping myself.
he tells the other guards to let us have a moment, and the other guards sort of patrol down the sides of the towers or walls or whatever, and through the gate he says, have you found out more information? I can relay it to the Castellan for you.
Yeah, my ass. I will relay anything that I have to the Castellan. And yes, maybe I have, but I'm not telling you. Let me in.
Well, I'm not
Who
just
I
going to
am.
let you in if you may or may not have information.
Can I grab him by the back of the neck through the gate and just slam his head against it?
Probably not. With the gauntleted fist and the bars fairly close together.
That'd be
All right.
Can I lift the gate?
I will find the Castellan for you. And you're made to wait another probably 10 or 15 minutes sort of out in the snow or whatever the other guards return. When he returns, he's sort of at a brisker pace, and he shouts ahead, "Open the gate!" And they open the gate for you. Right.
Right. When I walk past the one guard that was giving me flack, I'd do a fake punch. And then just keep walking.
Mage flinch.
Make an intimidation check.
one for flinching and then actually punching.
One for
I might. If he flinches, it might happen.
When you do it, he does. He is like he does kind of do like a quick flinch and like goes hand for the sword, and then he realizes and he's like kind of corner of his lip kind of turns into a little bit of a snarl. Which was this? Was this the guard? This was the guard that you talked to the day before, right?
No, it was.
Just one of the other lowly guards. Oh yeah,
was
yeah. He kind of
the
gives
first
more.
guy
I'm sorry.
that
Then he
stopped
kind of
me.
gives more of a like scared look, and like as he goes for his sword, but then is like kind of dumbfounded as you walk away or whatever. The other guy is sort of walking, and you follow him. You're led to a different part of the castle. Inside there is a number of lower buildings on the other side of the main courtyard. A lot of them look to be barracks. There's many soldiers about, not necessarily standing guard, but entering You can see sort of like front doors open, even in the cold, and the warm glow of fires inside. You can tell it's probably like a barracks. There's a good number of soldiers about. A building or a smaller section attached to that. He brings you into, and there is sort of an entry hall and meeting area. It's very functional, but with decent, furniture and so forth. And Rit Edgecombe is inside there.
Killing me. Sorry.
Who? The
No,
guard?
my network is
Oh.
my network is going like you're like talking and all of a sudden you go like this and then catches right back up again and starts talking. It's just annoying.
Well, you're led to like an area and pass by where there's like a large set of barracks.
Okay, just blows right past it. Yeah, whatever.
Huh? Well, I was just going to continue. I'm going back to what I
Go
said
ahead.
before.
Yeah, you're fine.
I can't really help you with your network.
Yeah, you can't.
And plus, you are much more experienced at networks than I am. No, you pass on the. It's actually a different part of the keep on the other side of the courtyard. There's a large multi-story structure with lots of lights on it, and you can see lots of guards about. Not necessarily standing at guard, but this appears to be a barracks. The front doors are open. There's like the warm glow of fire inside there, and the sound of voices and clinking cups and plates, and you're passing by some of the main barracks there. Attached building off to the side of it, he leads you into there, steps up, opens the door, and kind of stands to the side, opening it in there. Inside is a sort of functional greeting room. The furniture is nice, but not necessarily like noble or overly fancy. It appears to be some sort of greeting room with a stairwell leading up. And Rit Edgecombe is inside there. You step inside, I assume?
Can I get away with not stepping inside?
Sure. The blonde guard from last night had sort of stepped up and opened the door for you to go in, and you stand there, and you can
I'll
see.
go inside. If he's standing there just watching, I'm going to go inside.
Okay. You step inside, and Rit Edgecombe was sort of standing over a desk, like kind of hands behind his back, looking over something on the desk. Yes. Brisk cold. It's going to be a cold winter if we have first frost this early. That'll be fine, Resman.
The table.
Please leave us.
Walk up to the other side of the table and I sort of smack both hands down and I say, "You need to give me full access of your castle."
He kind of says, he kind of raises his finger to him and he says, "Resman, that'll be it." And because the other guard was coming in and kind of closing the door behind him, and he sort of says, "That'll be it. Please leave us." And you can see the look on his face is kind of like a little bit of a snarl, like. "Rrr." But he leaves and closes the door. I'm afraid I'm not giving you a full run of the castle. You haven't quite earned that much yet.
Do you want to catch the demon?
Well, of course. What have you found out?
Then you need to give us full run of the castle.
Us.
That's
Us.
that's quite a request. Have you gotten any leads? We seem to have found a few items of interest, but nothing concrete yet. I was going to send word to you this evening.
Yes. We have leads. No, I'm not sharing them because I have no idea who to trust in here, but we need to be able to be in the castle and find the people that we need to find.
I'm afraid that's just not happening. I can't give you full and complete access to the royal noble families. So perhaps if you tell me what you're looking for, or where you want to go, or something, something could be arranged. I'm tempted to trust you, but not that completely. This castle and this whole city is my charge.
Yeah, and a lot of people are dying because of your charge.
I understand. This is why I'm tempted to trust you.
Apparently not that tempted. Apparently, you don't want to stop people from dying.
There's quite a bit of activity going on right now. There's all guards are being called into service, and a full company is being called back from the Everblaze to be on watch. All the clerics have returned from their first frost retreat, and they're back on staff again now.
Hooray,
It's
clerics!
very devious for him to strike when we had no clerics. Don't know how he could have known this type of information.
Well, I know how he could have known that kind of information.
You're not buying that? Okay.
Man, oh man.
Part of the stuff that we found out. Listen, like, new information has come to light, man.
You
just went into like the man. Come on, dude! I want full run of the castle. It's been a terrible night, and I fucking hate the Eagles.
I approve of all of these statements.
I need to find a person in your castle. The person I talked to yesterday, and I need to do it without alerting them that I'm looking for them.
Okay, who is it?
I'm not telling you. I tell you, then it could get out that I'm looking for.
Well, I can't allow you to just step in and to one of the.
Maybe you're the demon. I don't know.
Now you're just throwing around random accusations. But I can't have you just going in and attempting to arrest or assault one of the royal families, or...
It's not going to be a royal family member.
Well, then why?
Maybe. Possibly.
Yeah, so that's...
I can't tell you.
Negotiating skills are on point. Let me get the foot in. All right, now here's my fist.
It's like Destiny. I can't tell you why I don't have time for this.
Listen, we may or may not have found your missing staff member. He might have told us stuff, and I need to find
Now,
somebody
missing
else on the
staff member? What missing staff member?
I already know what one. You're the one that told us about it. See? You are the demon. Guards, arrest this man.
It's just you and I. There's no guards here.
Oh, crap. There was a guard leaning against the door listening.
Yes, I sent him away. Don't you remember? And he looked very
right outside
sourpuss
the door
about it.
listening.
No, that's...
See, I like to think that Zig is actually insane, so he actually
Yeah, exactly.
Guards!
how his vision
Arrest
is,
this
like,
man.
very delayed.
Is that what his problem is?
There.
Could be.
Are you talking about the Mihal Rogers? A staff member who... That was like months
Yeah,
ago.
Jack me all. That was his name. Listen, I'm not going to tell you any more other than we found him. But I need to find somebody else here. And you need to let me.
I
You can
will...
follow me if
I
you
will...
want.
I will come with you.
It's fine. But you have to put this on. It's a magic net. And I hand him a net.
He gives you a look like, what? Do you think I'm an idiot? Kind of look.
It'll make you invisible, alright?
He hands you back the net. Where will I be taking you that you want to find this person?
Listen, if they see you coming, they're not going to be open.
If they see
Talking to
you
me.
coming, a large, intimidating knight wearing the helm like a skull, who's known to
gonna
cut
be
the
wearing
heads
a net.
off his enemies
They
and
are gonna
save
see
them
me.
in a bag. Yes, that is what they say about you. You don't think they're going to run as opposed to a man of the law who runs this castle and he speaks with these people on a daily basis? Did you
I'm
take a
gonna have the
larger
net
blow than is known about during this fight with the
They
small
won't
dragon?
see me because I'm going to have the net on, alright?
We'll put the net on and we'll proceed.
Damn it. All right, let's go. We need to go back to the kitchen area that we were in last night.
All right.
That was wonderful.
I like that. It's been like a half hour and that, and it's like, all right, fine, let's just go to the kitchen. These
All right.
negotiations have gone poorly. Let's just go to the kitchen.
All right. So
Well,
he
I could've tried to intimidate him, but I didn't.
you guys he says fine then we'll go to the kitchen. You guys travel across the courtyard into the other building.
Go get my way.
The guards at the doors to the area that was the dining hall unlock the doors for you guys and let you in when they see you approach. There's no dining going on this evening. All festivities are closed. We may do something small for the first frost, but for right now, most things are called off. And he's sort of stepping through and into the main large hall where there's still the burned table is gone, but there's still singe marks on the floor that haven't been completely scrubbed off from large walls of fire and a fire elemental that was loose in here.
Me
What
too.
happened in here?
This is where.
He just looks at you like, really?
So,
I'm making him realize how bad his decision to have me command as guards. Are you sure you're a captain of something? What's going on here?
We ask the same questions.
All right, sit here. I'm gonna go back into this kitchen.
all right. He sort of stands sort of near a chair and, sort of start inspecting around the rest of the room. You go back the door. It's unlocked into the long hallway with 4 doors on it.
Start tiptoeing, making all sorts of noise.
Okay. There's 4 doors again on your left and then doors at the end. They're all closed. So you
I
tip
do
down to the
I do
kitchen?
a barrel roll down to the kitchen.
Oh my
Okay. So you come to the double doors at the end of the hall that open into the kitchen that you've been in before, and they're closed.
Damn it! Where are these people?
Well, if you'd have kept the Castellan with you, you might know.
Damn voices in my head.
You know you hear your wife in your head. Come on
Sending.
now.
Where are these damn people?
Too far away.
I yell that from the end of the hall.
I did tell you we weren't holding any events this evening, but I don't know who you're looking for.
I walk out to the door, and I throw Hamph at him, which is nothing more than the end of the axe.
He's sort of smiling, kind of a little bit with his hands behind his back, sort of looks like, kind of not like a broad laughing at you, but like you could tell the corner of a smirk sort of on his lips. Now, who are you seeking?
I'm gonna lasso one of his legs and pull him
Get
on the
a
back.
lasso one of his legs. Are you really?
Jesus Christ. No, he's not.
No.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I do have a full stat sheet for the Castellan. I know to prepare.
face punch.
Yeah, he convinces you to
smirking.
take off your armor.
Yeah, having spent about a minute conversating with him and sizing him up, is there anything you'd like to know about the Castellan?
Yeah. Yeah, what's his level?
Can you...
How many hit points does he have?
It's a good question that I have to find the answer out to.
Dave, he's gonna be one of those NPCs that are not supposed to be killable.
Level. Damn.
Fighter levels or overall level? I'll say
I
fighter.
don't know what the difference is.
I think it
honestly.
only is fighter,
Multi-class?
right? Or can
I think
you
it
pick
says either
other
or.
people's level?
In either event, the way he carries himself and the sort of reaction, not panicking, just sidestepping enough to make sure a hamf doesn't hit him, things like that. He seems a extremely capable fighter, probably much more seasoned and experienced than you are, with significant more stamina and health.
So an unkillable character. Okay, good to know.
Anybody's killable.
Except one that doesn't go after dragons because he's a pussy.
I have,
I'm
in fact,
for-
felled a dragon myself
I
some
doubt it.
years back.
I'm looking for the fat chick that took the place of Mehoff.
Ah.
You know,
Well,
the one
I
that
know
said
exactly
did it
where she is.
yesterday. She probably did it, so I need to find her.
Mewen Rundle. Yes, Mewen, I know exactly where she is. In fact, exactly.
Her name has Moo in it.
Probably
Mewen.
in the dungeon. Mewin.
She is in a cell downstairs.
Told you.
I was
I was waiting for
suspicious of
Chris.
her. I was
My
suspicious of
bedroom.
all three individuals. I let Kesek Grenville go after he broke down a little bit. Seems he really wanted to sell his company. Doesn't know how to run it very well. The other one, I'm not sure that he did anything, but he certainly brought that box into here, and he'll be spending some time down there. Mewen, however, she was spotted from the start. She was hiding something. I found in her apartment a number of candlesticks, silverware, all kinds of other goods she's been pocketing from around here. But I don't think she's guilty of anything more than that. But however, if you wish to speak with her, I'll take you down there.
I don't want to speak with her. I need to drag her back to the Fletcher house. And
No, I'm afraid. Why? What? For what purpose are you going to do that?
because I'm going to show her the person that she took the place of, who is not at the Fletcher house.
I don't think he knows who the Fletcher house is anyway.
Whatever their name is.
Well, she was hired some
I know
time
it's on
after
X,
him.
Sure, I don't remember.
Now let's
The
go speak with her.
Swahili
Let's go
house.
speak with her. So
That's
Whale.
racist.
what? What did you? I missed.
Christ, both of you.
Me?
Whale.
Oh no, I know it's
The
Swale.
boys.
That's
The
racist.
Fletcher.
I didn't.
Swahili. He said Swahili. It's
Oh.
the Swahili house. Oh my god.
I'm just saying that's what Zig would say.
If
Like, I don't know what is the Swahili
You
house
knew
or
the
whatever.
name.
Well, that's why I would also be Swahili.
Oh, we lost Zig. There he is.
No.
No, right?
Blacked
Oh.
out for a
Maybe.
second.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
He's twitching his eyes at us.
No, he.
No, I'm ready to just call it a night because my internet's irritating me that much.
Sorry.
I'm hoping they're fixing something, and that's the reason that it's.
My
Getting really bad
experience
right
is that's not what network companies do. But actually, isn't it your company that gives you internet?
It's one of our member companies, yes.
Sounds like
Like
it.
I could get on Slack and I could message
That's-
the
yeah.
head network engineer and be like, "What do heck?"
why you do? You know, do.
So he takes you down out of this building. If he can't really hear me, why don't we, while you work on
I
that,
can
we'll.
hear you fine.
Okay.
I can hear you fine.
Okay.
It's calmed down.
So he takes you out of that building and into another structure that's more attached to a back section behind the barracks, down into where they have subterranean jail. I mean, to call it a dungeon sounds much more
Blues.
torturous than it intends. They are fairly well kept cells on a subterranean level. Large wooden doors with a small sort of half circle set of bars and slit near the top. The hallway's lit and there's light in there. And takes you down to a cell partway down, passing some guards, with keys and There seems to obviously be precautions here, but you make your way down there, and he raps on a door, and you hear like a startled, "Oh, is it morning yet?" No, you have a visitor
Shut up.
though. Do you want to go
Come in
inside?
there. Yes. Let me at her.
He has the guard's keys he has with him, and well, he looks at you for a second. Are you intending? He sort of studies your face, trying to decipher if you're intending to go in there and harm her. I don't know if you are, but if you are, can you make a deception check?
I don't intend to harm her.
Okay.
It might happen, but I don't intend to do it.
Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but
Unintentional intentions.
It means if she goes crazy, then I might have to
Okay.
harm her.
okay. All right. So he opens the door and sort of just waves his hand, and she's there. Inside the cell is not squalid like just stone floor. It's actually got a little bed in there. It is more of a jail than a torture dungeon or whatever. So she's sitting in there sort of on this small cot-like bed. There's a small table with an empty plate nearby it, bucket in the corner. You. Yes.
I know you're working for the demon. You had a bunch of fiends, and you took the place of Miho, and you're gonna spill the beans.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anyone. I think you're talking about the man who had the job before me, Mihal. I didn't
Why
even
you
know
stealing
him.
Candlesticks. Why are you stealing candlesticks then, huh?
I didn't steal any. And then she kind of eyes glance out to where the Castellan's standing out there. I needed the money. They don't pay us well here. I've got 6 children back in Terrafax I need to take care of.
Turn around and look at the Castellan. You dick.
She does not have 6 children.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that doesn't let you off the hook because you killed a person yesterday. You poisoned them. Made their eyes turn
I
black.
did no such thing.
I found your poisoner's kit. We got you.
I've done no such thing. This is all untrue.
Maybe ask who made her come and get hired.
I like that he knows to look up into that corner. That's the best part. Oh, his network. Look at.
You're hearing it in your brain.
I'm not asking that on purpose now. That was one of the questions I was going to ask. Now it's not.
Now I gotta wait.
I don't care anymore. So why did you leave Terrafax?
I needed to come and make money.
In Terrafax. It's an awful long way from Terrafax. Why are you here?
I heard there was work to be had, and I needed the money.
I didn't hear a damn thing of that.
I heard there was work here, and I needed the money.
Yeah, because there's no work in Terrafax, the giant city right by the ocean.
You make an insight check if you feel you need to.
Yeah, I feel I need to. This bitch is lying.
Bitch, why you lying?
But I don't know. I don't know anything.
She seems truthful.
Yeah, I mean, Seems legit. No. No, I mean you're still welcome to believe whatever you wish. It's hard to tell, but yeah, none of her stories seems to add up, but can't pick out any specific thing. She
So
came
where
to.
did you hear there was work here from?
I a cousin. I can't recall his name.
You can't recall
I'm
your
fine.
cousin's name.
I'm fine. I
Shit,
I
lady.
took the job. I've lived in Brefirie all my life. But all these people with all their money living in this castle, I took the job, and yes, it paid well and it was fine. But that was they weren't ever gonna miss that silverware. Who are you? The Silverware Police, Knights of the Silverware Order.
Yes. And you've crossed the wrong spoon guy.
That's going in my notes. That should have been our Smite clan.
Silverware police.
And she kind of just breaks down with a flurry of yelling at you and just kind of tears. Now she's starting to cry.
Good. I walk up
You made her
And
cry.
I walk up and I take one finger and I go like this underneath her eye and
Salty.
your tears fuel me. And I turn around and walk out.
All right, she's sobs. He closes the door. Yeah, locks it with the key back up.
So she did it. She stole the silverware.
Yeah, she did. She won't be working any longer. He's sort of walking away and hands the keys back to the guard as you. I won't keep her down here forever, but a few weeks perhaps. Enough to put the fear into her, but it's not something I want the other servants picking up a habit of or thinking will be soft. But she'll be treated well for a week or two. I don't think she is connected to anything unless you know otherwise. I saw nothing to tell me what I didn't already know.
No, but I think you should come with us. Or come with me. And
Oh.
us, meaning the other people that are with me right now.
Okay.
You just can't see them. They're in my head.
So, where and where do you wish, what's your next stop? What is
Fletcher
your
house?
what is your
Duh.
next site of investigation?
You're coming
He
with me
seems
outside the
somewhat
castle.
amused by you and your investigation.
Actually, I go back to the.
This is
I
what
go back to
happens
the
when
dining
Shaggy
hall.
and Scooby start doing the investigating in Scooby Doo.
Pretty,
It's like,
pretty much.
like they do find stuff, but man, the journey to get to that point is all over the place.
Yes, it
We
is.
must go here.
So you want him to come back with
First I
you
need to
to
make a
the house with
sandwich.
the rest of the people?
Well, first I go back to the dining area and I look for the actual table that we saw set up in the mock table.
Shit.
Okay. So he takes you back into there. Yeah, there is the table that's sort of at the other end of the room from where the Ifrit came out, from where you were dining, and it's still there. I dropped my dice picking up.
Yeah. We believe ya.
Ooh.
This is to see how many clerics are in the room now. It's 0. Somehow he rolled a 0.
Zero. Somehow you rolled a 0.
See if there's any clerics there when you need them.
There are none.
No, that's right. We
have
have
no
Nelson
clerics
do
in this
a heal of,
party.
like 6.
I healed myself.
Meanwhile,
So-
I'm dead.
So
I
you-
see the table.
Yeah, the table's there, sort of on the other end of the room. It's not. It was from where it's kind of at the front end of the room for where the Ifrit came out and the wall of flame was. So, yeah, it's there.
Is that where they were sitting when they died?
No, oh, you're talking about. I thought you meant the round table that had the section that was raised up in the middle where the Ring of Families was
Yeah,
sitting.
yeah, that's that table. Yes.
No,
Okay,
he
so
was.
that's what
This
set
was.
up.
These
That
were
was the
set in
mock
another
table that
guest
was set up
table,
in
sort of
the
off. Yeah, that's sort of the centerpiece of the room. And there's a number of other tables in the dining hall where guests sat. In fact, that table where the guest died at is gone. It was burned and damaged, and it seems to have been hauled out of here. There's
Okay, well, I
flames
walk
right
over to
across it.
the table that I saw set up, and I'm like,
Okay.
I've seen this before, which is obvious because I was here just a
Yeah.
couple nights ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've seen this at 2 different locations now.
Really? This table?
Yes. I also have these, and I reach into my pack and I pull out the notes.
Okay.
I have the notes, don't I? I thought we
You don't
packed them all
have
in my
a
thing.
note.
He
No,
has
I
some
don't
of
have
them.
all of
doesn't-
them.
Yeah,
There was
yeah.
several people reading the notes, so
I thought we shoved them all in mine. That's cool.
Hmm?
I have most of the notes.
Yeah, you probably have some of it. And I start reading a passage from them of like what was going on around the table.
at first he's sort of, got his amused look, and then he's sort of listening, and then he's sort of interested, and he kind of edges over to where he can look over your shoulder at what you're reading exactly.
And then as he edges over, I move.
What is this transcript? Where have you found this?
Oh, now you're asking questions. I see.
To be fair, I was asking you questions from the moment you arrived. Are you now answering questions?
Maybe. These were at this table or by it, but in the other place.
Not sure that I follow you.
And
But-
you won't.
Unless you do. To the Fletcher house.
Zip
I-
goes
I-
ahead on himself and tries to stealth away.
I want to see a natural 20 right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do an investigation check of the table, like just look around and
Double
see if there's
natural.
anything odd on it.
Okay. Go ahead.
12.
It is unset. Clear there is a cloth draped over it that wasn't at the other location, and this is not. It's not. This one's larger. It's like I said. The other one was almost more like a sort of like a replica kind of or whatever, but not a
There-
exact copy. But
Is
enough
there a
to.
flower pot or anything sitting in the middle of it, underneath the cloth or on top of the cloth?
No. You put your hand on the top part. The upper raised part kind of moves and spins like around. They put food and different things on it and can spin it around and sort of crafted with a
Lazy Susan.
but like a whole
Yeah.
table, and it's got but that would be a little more fancy here, and it's got like some sort of ball bearings or something
Like
in it.
Indiana Jones, where they're in the club and they spin the diamond around.
Monkey brains. No. Okay, so no, there's nothing on. No centerpiece though.
Okay. Can I lift the cloth up?
Okay,
Looking to see if there's any like etchings or anything that would.
gotcha. You don't find anything unusual. I mean, it seems to be crafted with some age and care and been around for a while. It's not like a brand new table or something. That seems to have been there for quite some time.
Can I flip the table?
Possibly, it's quite large. Probably not without a good serious heaving. You can't just like flip it, it's like one hand. You could probably maybe heave it up and flip it over.
Okay, I'm gonna get like on the edge of it and like put my hands underneath it and act, like gear up like I'm gonna
Yeah.
flip it. And just
He rests his hand sort of in between on the top of the table. This table has been used by the family for generations, sir.
It's cursed. It's a cursed table.
Look,
Everything hurts.
may I see those notes that you had? Look, I understand that you're onto something and you don't want to share it all, but
You can see the notes when we get to the Fletcher house.
where? All right, fine. I'll come with you.
He's like, "What the hell is the Fletcher house?"
Yeah, he doesn't know, but all right. I must leave word that I'm going out about town. And so you guys leave, and he tells some of his guards that he's going out into town, but it's kind of purposely vague on where he might be going. Don't hear him mention the Fletcher house at all. But he comes with you. And you guys head to the Swale home. Since Britt's last name is Swale, not Fletcher.
Yeah, but Eldak's last name is Fletcher, and he lived there too.
Is it, though?
Checkmate.
Is his last
far
name
as I
Fletcher,
know.
though?
As far as I know, that's all I care about. My reality is reality. All right.
True. When this campaign ends, it'll be a real twist of fate when all of us aren't real, and Zig's just been in like the hull of a ship for years, and he's just been insane.
Really?
Intoxicated stupor or delirium.
In the brig of a ship, just the dragon.
Oh my god, that was funny.
All right. So while that was a long interlude, sorry guys. So while he's away, did you guys want to discuss anything else and so forth, or carry on your train of thought
Do you
before
want to have
Zig?
your? Do you want to have your time? For that?
Well, they were sort of in a mid-conversation, and you sort of like disappeared. I didn't know if they were still discussing
We-
anything.
We've just been talking about
Be right back.
all the theories. We'll just
I also would mention that if we do feel he could be in danger, maybe getting him out of Brefirie is a better decision than leaving him here and
The guy sleeping in the chair, Mihal.
Yeah.
Mahal.
yeah.
Why would he really be in danger? Britt asks. I mean, does he know
Well,
anything?
Whoever
Well, the
kidnapped
thing
him.
is, he may know enough for them to want to completely remove him from the situation.
Does seem
whoever-
true.
Kidnapped him and left him in the cell to die expects him to be dead. So if he shows up alive and can give information about them,
Well, whoever left him in the
That's
cell to
dangerous.
die has a lot of other things they're probably very upset about.
and that is true. But he might have vital information. He does have
It's
vital.
probably too much to hope to think that they'll come to the conclusion that he escaped and wreaked all that havoc.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think he's as much in as much danger as.
It's possible. Whoever this is, this demon or whoever, and killing seems indiscriminate. I don't. Whether he kills them or not, or whether he knows too much or not, may have no bearing on whether they kill him.
It's fair enough. But we need to get his information to the right person if we decide that we want to talk to them. I mean, I guess we have to trust someone here. I suppose the Castellan is as good as anyone.
Yeah, I
At
know.
least if we know we've only told one person, then we know where the leak will come from.
I was trying to set up a meeting with some people from the Ring, and I believe the Castellan was as well, for us to speak with people, but now I don't even
Yes.
know who to speak with.
Well, he said we should talk to Uella Nichols. Probably should get as much information about. And I don't remember the other person's name. But
Oh,
he said
Vivian.
someone else. Yes.
Our friend, yes. I'm friends with the Cartwrens. I mean, we could speak with them anyway. Uella Nichols, I know of her, but I've never met her.
So perhaps the Castellan can get us a meeting with her as well. And we can try to find out more information and how it's connected.
Like I said, my only thing is if whoever is involved in this is looking to tie up loose ends, it'll be a lot easier to find him here, especially if he returns home. So.
No,
To
that's
decide
true.
His
I guess
fate
it's
to some
agreed.
extent.
Yeah.
I guess it's agreed we
why-
talk to the Castellan.
I guess
Yeah.
I'd worry about us as well then.
I would agree.
Don't know what our plans are here next. I've got
and
things to
depending
run
on
around
what
here,
this
but
person may know.
sure if I
We
want
also
to.
have to be careful with the fact that they have the ability to potentially look upon. We saw from that room, so we should always be a little bit wary.
Definitely, if they were watching the death last night, God, was it only last night?
Yes.
They could easily know who we are and that we're hunting them. Well, either way, let's get a meeting set up with the Castellan and let him know what's going on. And
When
see if he can
suddenly,
set us
When-
up.
Yeah, the
I know,
door
the door
opens and
slams up.
Zig comes in with the Castellan behind him.
Welcome to the Fletcher house.
He steps aside,
Really?
hands kind of behind his back, looking around, a little bit wary, sort of taking in the room, but then seeing all of the rest of his group here.
Watch out for the toads.
Well, I guess that settles that.
What's going on now?
Well, we just
were just
decided we were
talking
going
about-
to.
Good evening, all.
Good evening, Rich.
Your leader here has successfully pilfered out a thief within the castle walls and identified her. Well, I don't think she is our murderer. Do you agree?
I don't know if she's your murderer, but I'd be curious to know who hired, who gave.
It was actually a member of my staff who I've had a talking to. We needed to fill the position, and turns out she didn't have very many references, in fact. She gave some names, but I don't think they checked very well, and they have been reprimanded.
6 kids in Terrafax.
She does not have 6 kids in Terrafax.
What? We have a lot to talk about.
She has a chronic lying condition and is a thief.
Millicent, give him your notes. Here are your notes. Here's the notes. And I give him.
Okay. Oh, you hand him the notes you
I
had?
take it.
He kind of looks a little
I take
surprised, and then he starts.
I
starts
told him, I
reading
told him
them.
that I'd give him to him if he came to the Fletcher house. So.
I don't know that he believed you, to be fair.
I set them on the table that we're sitting around. So I take. The
Where did you
check
gather
and
all
set
these? He
them on
comes
the
over
table.
seeing there's more, and he comes to the table and sets down his stack, still kind of reading them.
I walk out back to the kitchen where Miho is, and I sort of just grab him by the scruff of the neck, and I pull him out.
He's sitting out. He's
See?
sitting out here in a chair, like asleep,
okay.
tongue kind of hanging out, like an empty bowl of soup by him. He's kind of like asleep in a chair. Like,
Okay, well, I walk up to him, and wake up.
And then, Rogers, is that you? And he stops being interested in the notes for a second and goes over to him. My God, man, what happened to you? He's
He's in much better shape than the half-orc we found next to him. Whoa, were you missing a half-orc by any chance?
I was taken in the night. They asked me all kinds of questions about the castle. I'm sorry. I told them everything, and they go through a few minutes of him briefly describing the same things he told you to the Castellan. Not everything about the half-orc, but just the questions they asked him, and that he was taken someplace he didn't understand, that you guys came and unlocked him from the cell, and then went off to take care of danger, and when you just narrowly escaped as he rushed out and rang the bell to save everyone.
God damn it. Oh my god.
If it wasn't for him telling me to do that, I don't know if we would have all made it out.
Right? Good job ringing the bell, buddy.
Oh yeah, let's
I
make
sorta-
Zig out to be the
I
hero.
sorta
I don't.
clap him on the shoulder. Like, this guy can follow
So-
orders.
So they you know, he's you know, he seems, but then his attention's drawn back to the papers, and he comes back over and says, "Where did you gather all these, in this place?" And he's kind of looking over, just, you know, scanning and trying to read them, but there's a lot there to read really quickly.
Yeah, we found
So it's
a
a
place.
cabin, like a mile outside of town that we found it.
with connections probably to some
It
underground.
was underground, and there were a
place.
bunch of fiends.
Now hold on, now let her speak.
He never does. Don't mind him.
Do you have any
I just
water?
Ignore him.
Thirsty.
She got hit by a
Zig, go get him some water.
no. Miho, go, servant. Be a servant.
Yes. All right. All right. So you were saying?
There's a
She
cabin.
got hit by a giant fly. It grabbed her by the back leg, almost killed her. She cried like a baby. We had to stop for 8 hours. Go ahead.
Are you done? Can I talk?
I don't know. It depends on what you
All
say.
right. I still have a second. No, I don't. I only have a 3rd level spell left. I'm tempted to cast silence on you. Very tempted to cast silence on you. Hush your mouth.
Cover the entire room.
No, it doesn't cover the entire room. We'll leave you over here.
Silence does not stop me from moving.
Hypnotic pattern does.
Only if I fail my saving throw.
Yeah, okay. Anyway. Underground caverns. There's a room down there that they were spying on the families, whoever they are. And taking copious notes, apparently. All the different things. They're a forger, they're a poisoner. They're interested in a lot of the mining that's going on around the area for unknown reasons at the moment. I'm a little worried about them knowing that Mihal is still alive and has escaped. Perhaps you could find somewhere safe for him.
I mean, could find somewhere to put him that would be safe for sure. Yeah. The
At least
castle.
for a little while.
I would love to say the castle's safe, but
It's not.
I mean, the truth is, this man, this or whatever demon, if you do not take care of him, he has struck for ages again and again, and we never know how he gets in or out. I don't know that anywhere is safe if he has a target.
There's truth enough in that.
But the castle should be safer than most.
You could just stop eating or drinking.
He'd find another way.
There was other ones, if you remember them talking about, that were like a wagon.
Being run over by the cart.
Yeah.
Eben, you were saying?
He was gathering as much information from him about the daily routines of the castle. All the monotonous things everyone did there. And I believe it potentially is what allowed him, or whoever they could potentially be, to ruin yesterday's event by murdering via the Fey Needle. Mihal
also
told
found-
us that all they did was torture him and ask him every time to repeat over and over what his duties were in the castle and what happened.
We also found quite a bit of forged information about the accident at the Delil. So whatever was done there, I don't know. There was information about the accident reports, many forgeries about it. And
Yeah, can we like show him like
You
know,
showed some of those too.
Mhm.
some of the forgery, like the two papers? Because you said some papers were like legitimate, and then there was like a modified copy of
Yeah, that was
those
amongst.
same papers.
Yeah, there was many others
Yep.
besides those as well too. That was sort of the ones
Yeah.
that caught your eye. There was a number of
Yeah.
seals
But
and
I was
drawings
saying
of
to show
seals, and
him
actually,
for-
Yep.
as he produced the notes, he
yeah,
you know
show
he,
for example.
yeah, you start pointing at those, and his attention draws away from the Emerald Delve stuff that you were bringing out to another page that he slips out. It's got pages of different seals, like sketches and very detailed copies of images of seals of like different noble houses and businesses and things like that are more common there. He's like, he's kind of looking through those. I mean, thinking, he could be using this to forge documents of all kinds throughout the city, and you can see the wheels turning in his head about that. I don't know much about the goings on over there at the Delve. That's out of our borders. All we know is the elves allow some trade to come out of there, and it's quite lucrative. It's not off limits. You can get there by crossing the river that I don't remember the name of because I'm tired. By crossing the Twin Pike Ford just across Farbrook, following the river to the edge of the forests. It's very on the edge of human civilization. Britt says, I know where it is. I've ridden out there a few times. There's a post there I do business with, and I have some friends there that
We
run
were
wagons back and forth.
We were hoping you could help set up a meeting with Uella Nichols and why can't I remember the
Indeed,
other guy?
was going to send word this evening. That has been arranged for tomorrow if you
Thank
can make
you.
it.
Definitely.
You can. I offered to make the keep available for a meeting, but she refused. She said you could meet her at her home, and it's within the. He tells you where it is. It's within the small inner walled area we guys here. You guys don't even have to leave the small gate from like the noble area, and tells you where her house is, on the north edge of this district. Tells you can meet her tomorrow. Gives you a time like mid-afternoon. So whatever this place was you found, hopefully this has done some damage to this person, whoever he is. I'm honestly not sure what to make of all this right now. The
Neither
families
are
are being
we.
scried upon. They could know anything. They could know any move. They could know any plans. I have to think about what my next step should be.
They were watching over the 7. Eldak, you have the orb, correct?
Yeah, I'll put an update.
Oh, the big... Yeah, okay. So you produced that. This
Yeah,
device
They had a,
Big ass fortune teller orb like my
yeah.
kind of
They
touches
had
it.
it on a pedestal. Eldak removed it, but it was on a pedestal, and we could see directly onto their table. It looked like it was watching from a chandelier or something up high, and that's how whoever it was or whoever they are, were gathering the notes. Some of the notes that you see here.
Does this crystal ball still work? He kind of touches it like gingerly a little bit.
I don't think so, but I'm also not necessarily.
So I've not tried.
I'm going to need to take that. You must understand. If it still operates, I can't allow you to keep this.
We are no threat to you. I'm grabbing the orb.
If this device can scry upon our officials and leaders of our city, no.
Rest assured, it's safe in our hands.
You have nothing to
It
lose.
also only seemed to scry on that table. I would say you should, if you have any practitioners of magic, you
Yeah.
should have that area of the room dispelled.
I just fired them all and hired clerics. God damn it.
Should have. You should.
He didn't say that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just fine.
I
Just
know.
kidding.
Which is funny as fuck.
All right. So,
Well,
all right. I
Hold
encourage you
meetings
not
in
to make
separate
use of
rooms
this.
there. We have no
I
need,
need
but in
to.
our hands it's safe.
I need to try to gather more information. I must have to figure out how to do it without revealing too much information at the same time. What are your plans from here? Do you know what you will be doing?
I feel like at some point we should return to Terrafax before we head out. It's been, how long would you say, Hans?
That's been a number of weeks now, probably.
Yeah,
I got a
we may
dragon
want
head
to-
we're waiting on.
Well, that's fine, but we still will probably want to return and let the
We
crew
need
know.
to figure out. We need to figure out what's going on in the delve, and
I
what
agree.
the demon is interested in all these mining.
I agree, but I also think we need to, like I said, at least make a stop in Terrafax and let the crew know what's been going on, and potentially try to get some other information there from
Look at Eldak.
our
Is that
friends.
okay?
We've got to do.
Well,
We've got to do.
please send word if you leave town and where you're going. Not that I'm keeping tabs on you, but I think seems like we all share a secret now, and if I find out anything, I would want to reach you with it. Trust you would do the
Well,
same, and
I-
you have shown extremely good faith bringing this to me. Please, I ask, don't bring this to anyone else until we know more.
Less people who know, the better we.
Do you have any other questions for him, or?
I don't think so.
Right.
I don't.
What is juice?
Juice. Alright, I must return to the castle. I've been gone a while, and without a guard
Let us know
regiment,
when
they are
you-
probably already drawing suspicion of where I've gone.
Let us know when you find a place for Miho
Oh.
over here.
Well, I can offer the castle for sure. Obviously, that
Like I said,
may not be the best.
If anything, he could. hold up
Mihal,
with
do you
us
wish
for at
to
least a
return to
while.
work, at least at some point?
You want to go back to the place where you kidnapped?
Yeah, he sort of looks torn. I've spent so many years there. I don't know. I don't know right now.
I've got a tavern you can work at in Terrafax.
That certainly would be away from here.
You're welcome to
For
return to
Pennies on the for coppers on the gold.
Terrafax. Think about that one.
Okay, well, I'll think about it. He tells the Castellan. All right. I'll see if I can come up with any other arrangements.
I guess we do need workers.
We do.
True.
So
Someone who
he
can help cook.
makes
Somebody's
takes his
always
leave and
thinking
returns to the
about that.
castle. So
Look, one of the first things I wanted for the tavern is some sort of security, because I know there's going to be a fight, because Zig is going to cause it, and thus we need some sort of people to also help separate.
He won't be separating, but he can clean rooms and make food. I'm down with that.
the Hydra's lament and home for wayward, abused NPCs.
We've got to have like a battle royale episode where we just see who's the best bodyguards. Just have them fight. Just one session. Just go.
The crew themselves.
All right, he's alive.
Who
Oh.
dies first?
All right. So he takes his leave and returns to the castle.
Do I still have the papers, or did he take?
No, you left. You kept the papers, I
Yeah,
assumed.
was gonna say, I don't
He
think
asked
we
to
would
take the orb, but
necessarily-
grudgingly sort of agreed to let you keep it.
I
I
put
also-
all the
I-
papers, including
He
Zig's.
yeah.
back
Didn't
in
seem
my
like he
backpack.
really, with all of you there, have a way to command that you don't with him alone. So, but he didn't like that leaving the orb with you. But besides that, you sort of had them.
Yeah, when he leaves, I mentioned to them, it's like, we could potentially
Oh, yeah. Excuse me.
what is it? I'm gonna call them the Bloodhound Gang, but the like Blackwater
The
gang or
Breakwater
whatever.
gang.
Yeah, Bloodhound Gang, gotcha. uh, if they potentially
I wear
have
all fucking.
any, but some of the stuff. But if they potentially could come into any intel with their whatever potential network they have, because I also, like I said, I wonder if this demon, as they call it, is maybe not just. Maybe has not just made his way here, but in other locations. So,
Also
I'd
been
like to.
long enough where there's just probably new information about something somewhere.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And they're the closest thing we have to a network
Whether
and
it's
Terrafax, at least.
Harrison Blacksteed has information, or if the Breakwater gang has information about anything.
Yes. Even if it's rumors, it's something we
Exactly.
could work on, and at least
Yeah.
there are people we have some rapport with.
Yeah.
I'm worried about any link to the Kalayaran.
Well,
Yeah.
if I've seen anything so far, is there seems to be a surprisingly large amount. Think about it. Those portals led directly to the CAD themselves. So they're, despite that place being, almost non-existent to anyone else, there certainly seem to be at least a few who know some sort of that place.
And this person is specifically looking for ancient ruins in
Exactly.
Eben. I'm very worried in particular about our little adventure with Pan
What about
and the
Pan?
fact.
I
And the fact
begrudgingly
that
say, I'm like, what about?
the whole episode we witnessed and the font that's no longer there. I mean, where is it and why are they searching these things? I guess I'm kind of worried they're searching it or something like it.
Did we ever? I can't remember how it's been so long. But the demon that was basically cast away by the orb. Did it ever say its name when we dealt with that? I can't remember.
Yes.
Or if it was just basically.
Thought so.
Yeah, I wasn't
I gotta go to a totally different notebook for those old notes. So.
sure. I just wasn't.
Sorry.
I couldn't remember if it was mentioned either. It's fine if you don't necessarily have to do that right now. But if these fiends could be in any way connected to something like that, it could be devastating to everything here, whether it's in Terrafax or in Fairwind. If there's
I mean, we certainly.
anything like that,
Nezark.
Nezark.
The cultists called him by that name,
Okay.
I believe.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm exhausted, Britt says. I'm going to get some sleep.
I think that sounds
Come
like
on,
a great
Mihal.
idea.
I'm going to show you to a room you can stay in. She takes him to one of the spare rooms to get him settled in, and is going to go to
I'm going to go upstairs
sleep.
and sleep.
sleep. Okay.
Midday night or not, whatever time it is.
I would
Well,
say
it's like
probably
evening now because you
midday.
did errands, and then it was like evening when Zig went to the castle and you guys
Yeah,
had
when
dinner.
I
So
came,
it's
did they just do the mantle thing immediately, or do I have to go pick it up the next day?
you can pick it up the
I don't know
next
how long
day.
that would take.
Let's say you pick it up the next
Okay.
day. Pick up your stuff the next day.
That's fine.
Um,
Yeah, I would say my I stay up for a while, just like thinking about the creatures we fought, and then with Meliston mentioning Pan, I'm just thinking about seeing them sort of back then, and I'm a bit more worried about the potential of anything like that. So I would say it takes me longer to maybe get to bed than it would usually.
okay. The rest of you get some sleep. Some of you didn't really sleep the night before. Were up watching and everything else, including Brit and I think Zig too. So you guys are pretty exhausted and fall into a long slumber. Wake up sort of late in the morning. Um, some people are up a little earlier. Brit's up a little earlier, and her and Mihal are making some food for people in the morning. You guys wake up. You're gonna pick up your cloak, and so you get your mantle, your pristine warg skin mantle.
Sure, I put in my thing as that pristine wood mantle.
That's right.
Yeah. It was pelt, and then I'm like, let me erase pelt and a mantle. Let's go.
He's got the Finkel
Britt,
Skinner.
is there anywhere? Is there anywhere I need to go to pick up supplies for us, for here and for whatever travel we decide?
I don't know. Are you asking me?
I'm asking Britt.
Yes.
Okay. You're asking her-
Indirectly, you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You ask her if there's any place you need to go to get
Any
supplies?
place that she wants me to go pick up food supplies and stuff both here and for the trip.
Now we've probably got provisions here to restock our kits. There's some dried meats and things and stuff that preserves well. We can fill our satchels with.
All right.
Um,
Plus, like I said, we should go back to
Well,
Fairfax anyway,
Okay.
so we'll need to, if anything, we could always pick up things there.
well, I meant for the trip to Fairfax or
Oh.
wherever we go. So we've got our meeting with Eula Nichols
Yeah.
today, and then a kind of a decision on where to go afterwards. So Fairfax first.
I agree. I would like to ask to see if we could try to gather any information from there. Plus, if Mihal is gonna have a place to stay, at least we'll sort of know he might be in better hands at the tavern than if we just leave him here.
This is true.
so a few more discussions about your plans, and you do the errands you need to do if there's any regular stuff that you needed to restock or whatever, and then early afternoon you head over to meet with Eula Nichols. Her home is sort of on the north end of the garden district there. It's a very large estate. You do notice the presence of guards just around the streets of even of this area, and there are private guards on duty at that house as well. But when they ask your names and you tell them that you're expected, they're expecting you and they let you in. You're led into like the foyer of a very fancy manor with coat racks and things or like hooks and things for hanging up clothes on the sidewall of the entryway, and large sitting benches and a large stairwell that arches up, and then off to one side a sitting room with comfortable furniture and small tables. And sitting there in a chair, there are some guards in the foyer as well, and they sort of let you in the door and they guide you toward the sitting room. And standing there in the room is a woman you saw at the dinner. she's not ancient, but she is, wizened and old. She has some wrinkles about her face. She's got very long red hair streaked with silver. Um, mm, uh, well,
Anybody else in the
she's
room?
probably like mid 50s ish type age. Not like I said, not like ancient crone or anything. She's appears to be a beautiful woman that's just older now, and
Past her prime.
I wasn't going to put it that way, but she receives you in.
That's true.
Please enter, have a seat. And then she kind of
Is the Castell
takes
in here as well?
huh?
Is the Castell in here as well for this meeting?
No.
Or did he not? Okay.
No.
Anybody else in the room?
Welcome. There's several guards sitting around. Yeah, please make yourself comfortable. There's tea, and there's like a servant as well, and there's like tea on a small table. Water, tea, something else to eat or drink.
Thank you, no.
And as you enter, she kind of introduces herself to you and shakes some of your hands. And my name is Uella Nichols. Welcome. Sit, please. Make yourself comfortable. And then when Zig comes up, touches your gauntleted hand and sort of like, oh my. Please, should I summon some servants to help you doff your armor, or
No.
He never
there's
takes it off.
a divan, like wide sofa kind of like thing. You kind of take up the whole thing by like sitting on it. Well, welcome to my home.
I don't know if your home has toads. I'll leave my armor on.
Not this time of year. Rit asked that that I set up a meeting with you, and I agreed. So, what is it you wish to speak with me about? The happenings at the castle the other night?
Well, we would certainly be interested in any input that you had and your perspective. We're also very interested in the Emerald Delve and what you can tell us about the elves and the delve and what happened so many years ago, as well as anything more current.
Interesting. Well, as for last night, I probably know as much as you do. A strange murder within the castle walls. The whole city is speaking about it.
2 nights ago by now.
2 nights. Yeah, I'm sorry. 2 nights.
Yes,
2 nights
it
ago.
was.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Sorry.
2 nights ago. The whole city is speaking about it, but I know a little more than you. They rushed us out of the room so quickly. I know that I believe his name was Petrock. Was a local businessman of some stature.
Where was your parrot?
No, that's the other woman that has a parrot.
That's not her parrot.
That's Vivian Cartwright that has it, the parrot. This is a woman you haven't met before, but you saw her at the dinner.
Yeah, I don't even know why we're here, honestly. Nobody ever filled me in, so...
You just heard me ask questions. Or maybe you didn't because you ignore your wife constantly.
Pretty much.
I've had dealings with the elves for a number of years, and I do remember the events there that happened some decade ago. Then she kind of glances a little bit at Eldak. You are Ellendair's son, yes? And Vivian shared that with me. I do still speak with friends I have within Male Bellinor. He is apparently on trial. These things take some time. The elves are a strange bunch. They live so
You're
long.
telling me.
I was waiting for that.
They live so long that things that seem like crises to us, they sometimes take no notice of, and they don't understand why we are so upset about things. I don't know if that's a fault or a virtue of theirs. However, in Ellendir's case, I believe he is still standing trial, sometime soon, in fact. Probably but a moment has passed for them, or their proper amount of time. He is a pretty wonderful man from the times I met him. He was a friend of our people. Really spoke of strengthening relations, of us working together being the future. Very optimistic type of feelings and statements. But he made it a reality, along somewhat with your mother. Something happened at those mines, and I don't know what. Some sort of accident. He was accused of some sort of negligence, causing the death of some miners. I don't know any more details than that, I'm afraid, except the elves called him back to Male Bellinor and sent another one of the ascending families to take over the operations there.
Which family? Do you know?
Yes, it's Nadark. It's Galbranth Nadark that oversees Emerald Delve. They are the next family in the procession of the elves, which is puts them in quite high standing within the Elven court. Anybody who thinks they might know about Elven society can make a history check. If you really don't think you would, then...
I don't know anything.
And I'm not going to make you
I know
sell me on it.
nothing.
I'd say Eldak and Eben can make a history check. Well, Eldak probably for sure. Maybe not Eben, actually.
He made it 20.
I would say maybe Mel, too, just because she knows everything.
Okay.
But,
All right.
but she's a jack.
Oh.
Literally, she's a jack of all trades. She's like semi-trained in every skill, so...
I actually am trained in history.
Oh, well then
What am I
definitely.
making?
History
Yeah,
check.
history.
Yeah, you know, though you don't know the individual families of elves that much, except what we've talked about and stuff in this campaign and what you've learned. You know, you don't know a lot about any sort of the, court intrigue or what's happening with them. You do know what she's speaking about. The elves themselves carry on a tradition of leadership where there is a large set of, there's a, I should know the number. I believe it's 8 families. But there's a number of elven families. Oh, actually, I think it might be 11. Anyway, there's a number of elven families that all sit in the court, and it's quite a wide assembly, almost like a parliament of some kind, where they rule. But there is usually one family that stands at the head. This is decided by something called the procession, whereas the different families share power over many generations. When one leader passes on, another one from the next family ascends and takes sort of the head of the court. And what she's saying is that the Nadark family is basically the next in line to power. It's the rough human equivalent, although it's not quite as linear as like a human kingdom. Those events were not... I wouldn't attribute those particular events to anything that happened afterwards per se, but certainly without Andiar and his presence and influence at our councils, and with and then eventually with your mother's untimely passing, the relationship has never been the same with the Elven peoples. We do have a diplomat who is knowledgeable. He is off in Shao Quan right now, but he is, I believe, not even allowed to visit their homeland or speak with them, and only speaks with delegates through relays. Relations are very closed from back when I spent my time doing diplomatic duties.
If I might ask, if the Nadarks are next in line, who's in power now?
I know.
Sorry.
Sorry. No. I do know. I'm sorry. I'm tired. Hold on.
Finding it to make sure.
Yeah, I'm finding out. I'm finding the whole notes because I just can't remember. Give me one sec here. Where is it? How did I write all this stuff down?
Probably a long time ago.
Dude, I got so many notes. Oh, because it's not in the right section. Okay. Now, right now, it's Houskin Colin. Which actually, that's a name you do recognize.
Me?
Probably all of you. Jen Colin, Gen Colin.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. What?
What?
Well, you don't know how that fits in, but you do know of someone named Winter Gen Colin. It's probably not coincidence.
Remember the people who were originally on the island?
The Hands of Saria.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
She was an elf. Anyway, but who knows what that means?
She's dead now.
Yeah.
She
Wait,
dead
didn't
now,
it-
or is she the one that went back?
She died.
No, she died.
Hans, was she the one who was a wizard?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Y'all, oh, where's the
and
hair?
Reginald has her book.
Yes.
Isn't she the one who Mizzy's dragon was connected to?
Yes.
It's cool. I'm glad
It
we left all those
comes
in different
full
islands.
circle. Yeah, right. I'm glad all those people quit and we don't have any of them.
Yeah. You got the dragon? Nah, we left on an island. You got that book? No, that's also on another island. Okay, look, it wasn't our fault.
But yes, they currently.
We
It's,
entrusted some things to some shady people and we don't have them anymore.
yes. Naysala Gen Colin is the Spring Queen. She's been in power since, well, the end of the Doom War. Amar Carcerin was the previous lord of the court. He fell in the Battle of the Wild Foam when they ascended. Naysala is fairly old, and it is thought she may pass sometime soon. Though, again, for elves, soon could mean beyond all of our lifetimes, as she kind of laughs a little bit.
Look, we'll live a little longer than this.
Yeah, how long does a half-elf live? Do you know offhand?
They're like, I think it's like 250 years
Okay, yeah.
versus the like 500 years
True.
that an elf does.
True.
I believe.
Which
it.
would make sense with it being half.
Half.
Just,
Sorry, they
Huh.
live. We can live up to or exceeding 180 years. So
yeah, it's a lot less, but
yeah, elves and dwarves, I
Those
believe,
human
have
genes.
yeah, really fuck with us. Elves and dwarves can live like insane amounts of time. Yeah, an elf can live up to like 750 years. So a bit more, just a bit.
Probably reason for their lack of urgency for things.
Yeah.
she says,
12
They
years
just,
worth
yeah,
of
they just
being
have more
untrapped.
time to like deal with it. They're like, yeah, we'll get to it.
We literally have time.
you notice, sort of as the servants, finished, topping off your tea, and then sort of, they've been sort of, funneling in and out, then funnel out of the room.
I'm not drinking shit, by the way.
Okay, that's fine. But they're offering if you're interested. Anybody's
I
interested.
drink the tea.
Anybody's interested.
I
you
don't
have
trust
to-
any drinks in this whole area.
Love it. I love it. A young girl sort of walks by the doorway to the parlor that you're sitting in. She's got she's got long hair, Uh, and
About 5'3", redhead.
yeah, it looks similar to her but younger. And passed by. She says, "Oh, this is my granddaughter. Come in here. Stop lurking, Gwynnifer." And summons her in. She's walking by the parlor, and kind of eyes were sort of, kind of lurking back, sort of checking out these strange adventures. You guys are. Let's be honest. You guys are interesting. People walk by, they're like, what, So
I know.
summons her in. This
She's
is my
very
granddaughter. I hope to teach her all I know, and she's a
What is it?
great part of our
24.
great part of our family.
36,
These are
only
some
35.
adventurers from down south. They're the ones that slayed the dragon. Oh, yes. And they're kind of interested, and she introduces you, a little bit. All right, now let us be. And then when she close the door behind you, and as she leaves, and kind of close the door behind, so you're in the room alone with her. Guards are
Shaking your
outside.
head about.
She says, one more thing about the elves. Kind of peeking at the door, making sure it's, you kind of read that she's like making sure it's closed and that any guards sitting out there. You guys are now alone in the room.
I think we're alone now.
Where's our clip of that?
Um,
Doesn't seem to be anyone else.
privately, the elves
Why am I
have
not
been.
the bard? I'm apparently supposed to be the bard.
This
Next
bard doesn't
campaign.
sing. You can be the bard next campaign.
Privately, the elves are seeking aid of some sort right now.
That could be interesting.
They've sent it out through a number of private channels. This is not something they really share, but as I have known people in their court, word has gotten to my ears. It's highly unusual for them to seek help outside their own. I suspect whatever it may be could be quite dangerous. Seeing as you just slayed a dragon, I figured I might mention it. I've sent word to several other groups who may also be capable as well, but as I said, I thought I would mention it. If you can find a way to seek them out, perhaps there's something you could do. I don't know.
Who specifically is seeking aid, or it's just word of mouth? Apparently,
I couldn't quite hear you, sorry. You're like really quiet.
know who specifically is seeking aid, or is it just word of mouth that there is?
Word of mouth from the court itself, not a particular person. You'd have to contact some of the elves themselves somehow, which in and of itself, I'm not sure how you would do. It's not advisable to travel into their domain unattended. I highly advise against that. However, they do have an outpost at the Emerald Delve that you were
Yeah,
asking
we can
about.
shorten some elves' lifespan. That's fine.
Don't underestimate them.
Don't underestimate me. Underestimate?
I actually think that's all in character
Underestimate.
too. Vic
I'm
says
gonna
that he's
be-
underestimate.
You have rum?
Underestimate.
Is there anything to drink here?
You know what I mean, lady.
Don't
I'm giving
be
to my
wise not to
ball.
underestimate them.
Over here.
The forests are their domain, and they defend it to the death. Male Bellinor is one of the few places that stood before the armies in the Doom War. Same cannot be said about many places in the human lands. In any event,
Well,
I
mean,
don't know
we're
what
talking
else I
about
can tell you.
humans. Humans are the wimpiest people around, so
If we weren't in the presence of nobility, I'd so. I just roll my eyes at him instead.
Don't worry about it. They do this all the time. They're newlyweds.
Congratulations.
Gotta make sure they get passed on to the world. Feels good.
Known to very fun.
Like I
I'm
said,
fine with it.
Evan doesn't lie, but man, he's gonna push this to the
This
limit.
is his one.
This is the one thing forever.
Zig doesn't care. He's fine with it.
He's like, I appreciate this.
Well, Eldak, did you have anything else to ask about?
No, I don't think so. You have provided us with very worthwhile information, and we thank you for it.
Thank you very much for your time. We truly appreciate it.
Also, do we know exactly where Eldek's father is being held for this trial at all, or just the general?
Male Bellinor is sort of like the city of the elves.
Okay.
It is actually not
That's what I'm
exactly.
saying,
You don't actually know where it is exactly, except it's somewhere in the woods of the Misdominion.
Okay.
Um,
I just wasn't sure if we ever get there, if we should be looking for a specific place, I guess.
rumors.
Like
I
Evan's
mean,
dad be one of the Nader.
common understanding is it's a city of elves, though. The way most humans probably imagine it being like a Terrifax city full of elves is probably wholly inaccurate. But it's apparently a large city where the elves live in the woods of the Misdominion somewhere.
Okay.
All right. AFK, it's like I gotta go make sure kids.
Okay. You guys have any more questions
Alright.
for her? Are you guys gonna?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. But is there a good way for us if we do find something out, or if you find something out, for us to contact you? Should we just return here?
Yes, or you can send a note to here or to the castle in my name.
We'll probably just return for safety.
Ah,
Never know
appreciate
whose
it. Good
hands
luck.
Notes can get on.
Good luck. I wish you luck in your endeavors.
So I would say we head back then to the Swale House, and I think
Fletcher House?
yes.
Okay, so you guys return home. Well,
Yeah.
home, you know what I mean. Back to
Well, to
Yeah,
to some
Eldak's
people
home.
here, it's home for sure.
Yeah.
Is Mihal there?
Yeah, he's still there.
Can I go up to, have you decided what you'd like to do?
I'm not sure. I mean, I feel like I should want to return to the castle, but I don't know. Your offer about returning to Terrifax is intriguing, I suppose. It's a little old for starting a new adventure, but why not? If we'll be safer.
We'll go along well with the other crazy guy we have.
I know.
Oh my god.
That's what I said. So Hydra's Lament, Ale House, and Wayward Home for lost and abused NPCs.
Look, at the very least, they'll have great stories to tell the patrons. They're like, look, there's like some sort of treasure in this place. I've been looking for it. And the
I
other
was
person's
almost
like, I was
murdered
kidnapped
and
and
captured."
by a mysterious. Like, man, these guys are either crazy or great storytellers at this place. We need to
There
come
was
here
a beast
again.
with 1,000 mouths that
Yeah.
Oh, God.
tortured me every day.
The gibbering mouther. Oh, that thing is... ugh.
Well, see, that's the thing. They might, because then on the wall that's like, here is a dragon skeleton. Oh, and a thing. It's like, maybe there is some truth to what they're saying, even if it seems a little far-fetched. There's a
There's a Hydra head and a
Yeah. It starts to come to the allure of the place. It's like, man, it's got all this mystery surrounding this. This is a regular alehouse, but man. See, all we need to have happen now is someone has also died at the tavern, is a ghost, but they're super chill, and every so often there's just a ghost at the bar, and people are like, yo, you mean the Hydra's Lament where there's a ghost at the bar? Yeah, you need to check that shit out.
It needs to be a band that gets murdered.
Whoa.
So
there's a ghost band.
Have entertainment. Yeah.
It's just, sometime during the night there's ghosts that are playing sea shanties.
I'd be okay with it. It'd be
I'd be 100% okay with it.
Like, yeah, let's go.
All right, so, after speaking a little bit more of your plans or whatever, Britt is, a little...
Well, I was gonna say, if he agrees to come, then I'm gonna say, if anything, I'll escort him to his house so he can get whatever he does want to bring from there.
Okay.
And then we should get ready to head back to Terrafex. Like, have someone because
I'll arrange...
know we're gonna go.
Yeah.
And then
Britt says, I'll arrange carriages for us and makes the return trip fairly rapid.
It's probably, at least for us, it will be most likely a fairly short, return to Terrafex, sort of, catch up with the crew about
find out
what's going on, and then potentially talk to
Steal their bag of holding.
well, damn, yes.
Yes.
He said he was gonna do that.
Yes. You gonna lure that shit right up?
Yes.
Straight up steal it from them. All right. You
So
pick
we have
up
to
your
do that
dragon
after-
skull
I was gonna say the
from the
dragon
gnome
skull
with the
and whatever
monocle.
scales.
He's got when you arrive to pick it up, he's still finishing it up, and you have to spend a little bit of time there, like half an hour, because he's like, I've been working, but you are not worried because you kind of cross your arms and wait. He's got the dragon head, the skeleton with whatever neck vertebrae are still attached from where it was severed, sort of rearticulated. You can see like melted infused metal that is and some sort of other material that has been set in between it to stiffen it. It's almost invisible. Only when you inspect closely can you see there is like, an attachment holding the vertebrae together. The head sort of tilts upward with the jaw sort of slightly open, revealing all the teeth. It's kind of like if you went to a museum and cut the head off a T-Rex they had on display that was like, rah. It's mounted on the back with some support, nearly invisible to see, like wires, just to make sure it all holds up. On this very well carved like wood placard that's been stained and it's it's done a very, very nice job, and you can tell that he spent quite a bit on it's actually got gold engraving like around the base of the mounting plate and everything else. The extra coin you gave him, he didn't just pocket it all. He invested it in a bit of it in the display of this piece. Oh, what do you think? That's wonderful. I know. Don't worry about it. And he's like brushing off little parts and putting just little bits of like clear material with like a little brush on different parts. It's like sealing it.
It'd look better if it had the scales on it.
Ah, the scales. Yes, and he produces like a small bag with the scales that he saved. They've been cleaned. Now they're not large because it was from the head where the scales are smaller. They're not like big plates like you might make armor out of, but you do have several pounds of small scales from the dragon's face.
Do they have any like poison resistant properties or anything like that since it was a green dragon?
You don't know. Just chew on one like piece of Indian gum or whatever.
Yeah.
Bark.
Yeah, like it does have poison properties. You feel, real
You feel
sick now.
poison.
You know what would
Like,
be real funny?
Thank you, babe.
If the dragon head skeleton was inside of a bottle, like a little ship in the bottle, like a giant glass bottle, that would have been hilarious.
It'd have to be a really big
How
bottle.
did you do?
Yeah.
That's why it cost 500.
Because of all the glass.
The sheer work to just get it to.
I don't know how you're gonna cut that thing back. So he's gonna
he's
need
gonna
his
clearly
own carriage
carry it.
with his.
So you return with it, and you have well, he's got like a large crate or whatever that he packs it in. There's some straw that it sets in, so it's packed safely inside of like a large box with straw. You can tell this
It
person
returns
takes.
with a wheelbarrow. It's
Yeah.
got a big old box in it. It's like, hello.
So you've
I
got
got it.
yourself a dragon skull to mount. Any other business in town then?
No, like I said, I'm gonna take Mahal to his home to
Okay.
grab whatever necessities he feels we're leaving, and I let them know to let the Costella know we plan on heading to Terrafex and
Okay.
then probably to the Delve after, and if not, then maybe we'll stop here to give any updates if we have any.
Okay. You escort him to his home. It's really just a small hovel. It's not really. I mean, it's not. Well, I shouldn't say it's a hovel. That probably means it's very small, like in a back alley in sort of the northeast district of the town, residential area of large sort of tenement type buildings, and then there's small houses sort of like built in between them and like up against them and stuff. And he's just got like one of those. Like inside, it's like clean, though it's been unused for a while.
He takes
But
well care of it.
yeah, but it's like I said, it's not. It's like a it's got a little bit of a wood floor, so it's not totally. But it's he was just a poor servant guy. He apologizes as it's a bit of a mess and it's not much. I spent most of my days in a room in the castle anyway, but I kept my company here and he gets some sets of clothes and just a few small objects and a little traveling sack and that's it. Nothing special really that catches your eye or anything.
Like I said, I wasn't necessarily trying to. I just
Yep.
wanted to not have him be alone. You
Yep.
know, sort of just keep watch of him just in case,
Uh,
but allow him to get whatever was
Yep.
important to him before we pretty much leave this place.
when you get back, there are two large like carriages with horse teams, set up for multiple horse teams in the yard of your home. Britt has arranged some from her trade business, and they're sort of set up to be used the next day. And you guys, can rest that night and set out in the morning to wherever you decide to go. With that, I know it's not even 11, but do you guys mind if we call it here? I'm super tired. This is probably a good enough spot.
I'm fine with whatever.
Yeah, we're good.
Um,
What's Nick laughing at over there?
he's muted.
Yeah.
A message in my chat. Apparently, I wasn't moving my face or head for like 2 minutes straight while I was working on the UI changes that I was doing, and it creeped out a tiny little dragon. So
Oh, we're sorry, tiny little dragon. That sucks. Maybe what we really need is somebody to make him a skull helmet like the one he wears in game. That'll keep everybody feeling more safe.
no way, nobody has to look at my face.
Yeah, so you have like carriages ready to go. You have your supplies stocked up. You have everything taken care of. Ready to head out. Plan will be to go back to check in at the inn, I guess. Terrafex
we want
is
to go to
Checking it.
Terrafex.
Yep.
yeah. Terrafex will be a bit of a journey back, but I mean on the roads shouldn't be too bad. It's about probably like a week's ride. Well, it was like a week for you guys to get here. With the carriages, it's probably going to be a lot less. You're not going at the slower pace with the big wagon, nor with the dragon body like on the back. So. So, next week we will
So
continue.
we're gonna fight something next week, or we're gonna keep?
Probably.
Yeah.
Hey, we fought stuff for like 2 weeks.
I know.
He's giving you shit.
I've got lots of stuff set up for you to fight. Don't worry.
I was about ready to punch a guard.
Oh.
So
The Castellan was ready.
We
Should I
know.
need it?
hey, I sized him up, and I realized that you made him an invincible NPC. I was
It's not invincible. It's just higher level.
pretty much invincible.
I don't know. You guys plow through things sometimes that I can't believe you guys were killing. So I'm never sure.
As a group.
What do you guys think about since I guess Bryce isn't gonna join us. Doing Saturdays instead? Question mark.
Fridays instead.
Fridays
Because
instead?
I have a lot of shows on Saturday nights, so I'd be
Maybe
late
do
a lot.
Fridays. Yeah. I don't know. Let's talk about it maybe during the week. I'm just if people are open to it. It sucks. It sucks wanting to play more and then having to get up and go to work in the morning on Monday mornings. Those
Nick?
1 o'clock nights, I get like 5 hours of sleep.
I mean, probably works. I don't know.
We can talk about it. Sundays are fine. If keep going, I'm happy doing Sundays too.
It'll probably work. I don't know. Friday night's probably fine.